Whispers in the dark. A door creaks when no one's there. On Prime Video right now, nightmares are streaming. From mind-bending psychological horror that crawls under your skin, to supernatural thrillers dripping with paranormal suspense, to cult classic horror so outrageous you almost laugh before the screaming starts. This is the countdown of 10 terrifying films you probably scrolled past, but should never, ever watch alone. Number 10. Siren, 2016. She sings, she lures, and she kills. Siren isn't just another supernatural thriller. It's a descent into chaos at a bachelor party gone wrong. Where the seductive monster isn't a guest, she's the main event. The film drops you into debauchery that curdles into dread. When Lilith, the succubus, is freed, pleasure turns instantly into predation. The horror isn't just her claws, it's the way desire itself becomes a death sentence. The tone feels like The Hangover collided with Hellraiser, and honestly, I'm here for the absurdity. The pacing is chaotic, but the supernatural suspense never lets you breathe. For me, this lands at a 7.5 out of 10, a bloody, pulsing ride of temptation and terror. If you crave a night where pleasure mutates into primal fear, hit play. But beware, because the next story is about ritual, blood, and a harvest you can't escape. Number 9. Dark Harvest, 2023. Midwestern cornfields, a boy, a monster, and a ritual soaked in blood. Dark Harvest thrives as a supernatural thriller where every Halloween is a gamble with Sawtooth Jack.
It ain't over. Your sacred duty is to take down Sawtooth Jack before that church bell rings at midnight.
You really think that's real?
This film wraps Americana in a coffin of curses. Teenage boys hunt the creature not for glory, but survival, while the town's secrets ooze through every frame. The imagery is thick with autumn chill, a folk horror mood dripping from the leaves. It's not perfect. Sometimes it leans more, yaw rebellion, than sheer terror, but the atmosphere and monstrous design stick. The suspense hits like the lottery rewritten with claws. For me, this is a solid 8 out of 10, a ritualistic nightmare worth your October nights. And if you thought curses were cruel, wait until love itself becomes the trap.
Born in this town. You're cursed. I'm ending this.
Number 8. Run Sweetheart Run, 2022. A date, a smile, a predator hiding behind charm. This isn't just a chase movie, it's a supernatural thriller where every heartbeat counts.
What are you?
The only thing that matters now.
What begins with romance quickly cracks into a hunt through Los Angeles streets. Sherry's night becomes a citywide nightmare as her stalker reveals he's not entirely human. The horror here is relentless pursuit. The feeling of no safe space, no refuge. It's survival horror with a feminine heartbeat, vulnerable, furious, and fierce. Some scenes feel uneven, a bit rushed, but when the chase locks in, it's merciless. For me, this lands at an 8.2 out of 10. Tense, sweaty, urban horror that makes you check your own rearview mirror. And if you think running through streets is terrifying, try being trapped in a field where the soil itself births abominations.
Surviving now, huh?
Number 7. Isolation, 2005. A farm, a cow, and something inside it that should never exist. This isn't just gore, it's paranoia, infection, and biological horror at its rawest.
What have you done?
Help me.
On a bleak Irish farm, an experiment mutates into nightmare. Calves become grotesque monstrosities, and infection spreads like wildfire. The horror isn't just the creatures, it's the claustrophobic mud, the stench of decay, the hopeless fight against evolution gone wrong. It's grim, messy, and yes, A little too damp for comfort. Imagine Alien set in a barnyard and you're close. The pacing drags at times, but the atmosphere makes you squirm. For me, this is a 7 out of 10. Unsettling enough to make you eye your steak differently. And yet, while monsters crawl from flesh, the next film shows what happens when evil crawls from the soul, and smiles while doing it. Number 6. A House on the Bayou, 2021. A family retreat, a charming old house, and a visit from strangers who know too much. This is psychological horror fused with supernatural judgment.
It's time you face the truth. Don't worry. If you're righteous, you'll survive.
What begins as reconciliation unravels into eerie dinner conversations where every smile is sharpened like a knife. The family's fractures bleed into the house itself, where secrets are dragged into the open by something not entirely human. It's Southern Gothic meets morality play, and though uneven in tone, it crafts chilling paranoia. The performances sell the menace, even when the script veers into melodrama. For me, this sits at a 7.8 out of 10, a tense horror that punishes hidden sins. If you want a weekend getaway filled with whispers and dread, this is the key. But if guilt wasn't enough, what if the dead themselves demanded vengeance?
Some of us invite him in, some don't.
Number 5. The Deeper You Dig, 2019. A snowy night, a car accident, and a ghost that refuses to rest. This indie gem is supernatural thriller stripped to bone and marrow.
Only I can do that.
We're looking for your neighbor's daughter, 14-year-old girl. She's been missing since last night. Have you happened to see her at all?
No.
Echo Allen.
When a teenager dies, her spirit haunts both the grieving mother and the man responsible. What makes this film stand out isn't big effects, it's mood. Guilt drips from every shadow. Grief curls like smoke, and the supernatural feels like an echo of trauma itself. It's slow, patient, maybe too patient for some. But the payoff lingers like frostbite. The cinematography is raw, intimate, haunting. For me, this is an 8.3 out of 10, a chilling exploration of sorrow turned spectral. If you're drawn to ghost stories that ache more than they scare, this is for you. And yet, some houses don't just echo loss, they scream it through blood-soaked walls.
Echo did not run away. Something terrible happened to her. I know, because...
Number 4. We Are Still Here, 2015. Snow covers New England. A grieving couple moves into a house, and the house remembers. This is supernatural thriller in its purest, blood-soaked form. The film starts in silence, sorrow hanging heavy, but the house is alive, vengeful, ancient, and merciless. What begins as a haunting crescendos into a gore-soaked climax that feels both old school and feral. The ghosts here aren't whispers in the dark, they are claws through flesh. Flames consuming everything. It's a mix of the Changeling with grindhouse splatter, and the result is messy brilliance. For me, this earns an 8.7 out of 10. Grief sharpened into bloodshed. If you crave old-school haunted house carnage, step inside. But beware, because some doors don't lead to ghosts, they open to cults, monsters, and something far more cosmic.
Some even said he was selling to the Orientals over in Boston, turning them into chop suey.
Number 3. The Void, 2016. A hospital, a wounded stranger, and a cult waiting outside. This isn't a simple siege, it's cosmic horror dripping with flesh and madness.
Haven't you ever wished to save someone?
What was that?
When a police officer takes a man to the the night mutates into a Lovecraftian descent. Cultists surround the building while inside, things grow. Tentacled, grotesque, skin-warping things. The film thrives on practical effects and claustrophobic dread. It's imperfect. The dialogue sometimes stumbles, but the monsters? The atmosphere? Terrifying. Imagine Carpenter's The Thing colliding with Hellraiser and you're close. For me, This claws its way to an 8.5 out of 10, a grotesque, unforgettable trip into the abyss. And if cults and creatures weren't enough, imagine dancing, but every movement whispers black magic.
When you go looking.
Number 2. Suspiria, 2018. Berlin, 1977. A dance academy where every pirouette is a ritual. This isn't just art, it's psychological horror fused with witchcraft and dread.
Perfect balance, perfect sleep. Oh, she wants to get inside of me. I can feel her. Oh, she can see.
Unlike the neon surrealism of Argento's original, Guadagnino's Suspiria drips with gray skies and political unrest. Movement itself becomes incantation, and the dancers' bodies contort into weapons of ritual horror. It's long, dense, and not for everyone, but if you surrender, it devours you. The performances, yes, Tilda Swinton thrice over, carry a strange power. The finale? Pure delirium. For me, this is a 9 out of 10, a hypnotic, terrifying ballet of blood and power. But after witches, after rituals, comes something even harsher, faith itself, twisted into a weapon in the Old West. Number 1. Brimstone, 2016. The Old West, a mute woman, and a preacher who won't stop hunting her. This isn't just horror, it's psychological horror and biblical terror told in reverse.
It's a sin.
I love him! It is not. It is lust.
Told in fractured chapters, Brimstone reveals cruelty piece by piece. Like scripture written in blood, the mute midwife fights for survival against a preacher so fanatical he feels inhuman. It's brutal, relentless, and hard to watch, but unforgettable. The psychological horror lies in power twisted by faith. Violence justified as salvation. The cinematography is stark, every frame cold as Judgment Day. For me, this is a 9.2 out of 10, a devastating, unforgettable journey into fear and faith. And when the credits roll, you're left asking, what is scarier? Monsters in the dark, or the monsters preaching in daylight? Ten films, 10 nightmares. From psychological horror that fractures the mind, to supernatural thrillers that drag you into the beyond, to cult classic horror soaked in absurdity and blood. Prime Video hides more shadows than you think, and once you look into them, they look back. Which movie scared you the most? Dare to comment below.